welcome to the weekly PM show with me and Matt with you for the next sort of, well, it might be hours because we'll be honest, because we've had to reshoot this. We've already done all this.
Yeah.
But yes, apologies. We had a bit of a technical issue with recording this show, so we're doing it again. So at least we know what we're on about.
Yeah.
Anyway, good afternoon to you. It is the 9th of September 2020, and we've been discussing really how quiet it is.
It's been a quiet week. From last week to this week, it has gone very quiet in the modelling world. I think it's. I said we normally get this earlier on in the summer when people are off on the summer holidays and do all the things outdoor stuff. But obviously, with this year just being this year it has been, we've had an extended sort of stay of it going quiet, and I think we've sort of just hit it probably the last couple of weeks really. Yeah. Again, new release wise, it's gone a bit on the quiet side as well. So the only thing, we've got a lot of pre-orders going and coming in, and things on the go like that. So yeah, just it is what it is, and it always happens. It happens every year. So it's just you just take it on the chin and wait for winter really. So.
It is. And we were saying this year, really, it's obviously with the entire COVID thing, the difference between this year, traditionally others, is that normally you've got release dates and they're, usually around in the ballpark. So you know what's coming like first quarter, second quarter. But this year especially, things have moved. So things have just been pulled and they're going to be reintroduced later on through manufacturing problems. And then obviously you've got things which you're expecting to turn up and literally they don't turn up. Like a tornado, for instance.
Tornado.
From Revell.
Yes.
So, go on. Yes. Tell them what's happened.
Basically, what's happened is not all the suppliers in the UK have had their allocation of tornadoes. As far as we know, only one has.
Yeah.
We don't know why this has happened. We can't get any dates from when they are coming in. All Revell has done is issued an apology to the supplier who we are getting ours from.
Yes.
So, but they can't give them a date of saying, well, it's going to be 2 weeks, it's going to be next week, it's going to be Christmas. Nothing. It's just an apology and that's it. So, but looking around the web, it seems there's a shortage, for whatever reason why one supplier has got their allocation and nobody else has got theirs at all. We don't know. There's no reason. Revell's not put out a statement like saying, well, there's a problem, or we haven't got all of them in yet, they're stuck in a container, whatever. Nothing. It's just to say, we're sorry, and that's it. So we've got our hands tied at the minute with that pre-order, because like I've said 2 weeks ago, I said, yeah, it's coming in, blah de blah, and no, we're still sat here and it's not turning up as of yet.
No.
So I've got to apologise for that.
Excuse me. Yeah, and again, it is bloody annoying, because to be honest with you, is obviously we do the pre-orders, we do the things, and obviously we put in our orders, and it's quite a large one for this particular release, wouldn't it? Yep. So, and again, it's one of those where there's nothing more annoying when there's other people have got them. And you're like, how, why? And then obviously we do a little bit of research into it in the case that they didn't get their full allocation either, so they've supplied what they've got. And I just feel personally is like, one, it'd be nice to get an explanation of why we haven't had the full allocation, or any allocation in this case, come in, so we could pass on that information obviously to you guys. But also, is this a temporary delay? Is it because they've lost a container? Which sometimes does happen, as funny as it sounds, of 40-foot ISO containers, but they do sometimes get missed, on the wrong area, whatever it is. Or is there been a problem with the kit and perhaps they've recalled it, and that's happened in the past as well, when there's been a problem with clear parts and they've recalled it, pulled it back, they've taken out the clear parts, put new ones in, which are fine, and then it goes out again. But in some ways, my point is it would be nice for Revell to actually fess up and say, look, we've got a problem with distribution, there's been a problem with manufacturing, there's a problem wherever it is, so then we get a better idea of exactly when and where we'll be able to get hold of them and then pass them on and everything else like that. Because it's just, like, trust me, it's more frustrating for us than it is obviously for you guys even, because we feel like we've let everybody down. And it's like, it's one of those that's totally out of our hands. And to be honest with you, obviously we've got said suppliers we deal with all basically around Europe. And literally as soon as we were told from our primary supplier, they haven't got any, and haven't had any, and no one knows what. So immediately we suddenly zip round the rest of our other suppliers to see what we can get, and they haven't got them either. And as I said, the major one, obviously like Glow2B that we use in Germany, they are obviously the largest, distributor in Germany. They haven't even got any. So the way I look at it, if the German company can't supply a German distributor, there's no hope for anybody really.
Hey, perhaps there's some pirates sitting there building loads of Revell tornadoes somewhere.
This is it, yes. They've given them out by mistake to a load of people to keep them busy. So, it's just deeply, deeply annoying. And as I said, the thing is that over, obviously since COVID, things sometimes don't come in on time. And to be honest, a couple of weeks ago, we said about the P38s. We were told they were in. They'd be coming out to us. We'll get them out to you guys. 2 weeks later, they're due in today or tomorrow, isn't it, really?
Yeah, they are. That is going to be fulfilled.
That definitely is, because
the folk today from the hobby company, they're in now. They're in their warehouse and are being distributed as we speak. So that one will be coming. So, again, it's all fluid, as they say. Everything's very fluid at the minute because of delays, because of COVID and whatever else. I mean, it's it is what it is. So it's, I think the going back to the tornado, it's frustrating because if nobody's got in, then nobody can have it. But it seems a bit unfair that one company's had their allocation, but nobody else has had any. Do you know what I mean? It seems, well, why not just wait and distribute them all together? And save yourself as a company the headache of people going, well, why they got theirs and why we got ours, and all that sort of scenario that will come up, because it will, won't it? So
absolutely, and again, as I say, it's one of those that's just deeply frustrating because nobody will tell us why. You can't get an answer out of Revell to say, look, it was this reason or that reason or whatever it was.
If there's a problem with the kit. And they said, like you said, because it was the F3, was it?
With the clear part,
I think is when the Edward reboxed it. But, these things happen if it's got a short shot. If there's, I was going to say the boxes get damaged, but hey, that's the boxes full stop. Anyway, that's fine. You know where you stand then, and we can pass that on then to our customers and say, all right, they've got a problem with the moulding or packaging, or a container's fell off the side of a ship, I don't know, whatever. We know where we all stand then. But to just not say anything's a bit, I don't think it's very professional, to be honest.
No, and that is the thing. I think at the end of the day, if we've got the information, we can pass it on to you, and it's not like fobbing you off. But it sounds like we are almost now, but honestly, it's because we don't know.
Yeah, we haven't got a clue. Like I say,
we haven't got a tube of glue.
Nope.
Literally.
Nope. And like I say, we've got even no dates.
No.
Of when we might get out. So, frustrating is an understatement. Like I say, Phil copped it the other day off me.
Monday,
and Gary at Tiger Hobbies, who is our, who's supplying us, he copped it off me as well, because I was ringing him asking about it.
Yeah.
It's like just having a general rant, I think, that day. But it's just frustrating.
But it is. I think, as I say, as we're finding out in the UK, the thing is with the COVID thing, it hasn't gone away.
No.
It's just gone quiet.
Yes.
But it's still there, and it's still causing problems. UK's going back into lockdown, sort of. As if you go to the pub.
Just don't go
basically.
To the pub, you'll be all right. But it's going to happen. It's going to spike, isn't it? It is what it is. So, I mean, we've had a lot of local lockdowns as it is, haven't they? And they're on about probably some more coming into force. And I think as winter obviously is upon us, it's probably going to get worse because flu season's back. And, obviously we've had summer here, so it's obviously just quieting the infection rate down a bit. But once winter's back, we're back to square one, really, or we could be if we're not careful. So, it is what it is, isn't it?
But it is, as I say, bear with us. As I say, as soon as we get any information about dates and releases and stuff like that, we're more than happy to pass them on. And the trouble with the internet is there's lots of people out there who will tell you, oh, it's out and it's at this price and blah-de-blah-de-blah and all the rest of it. But until we've physically either heard it from the horse's mouth or we've got it, we don't like to go around spreading this, because well, as we say, we've seen various things floating around the internet this week, which is like, that's not true, because we've got it straight from the horse's mouth and stuff like that. So again, it's one of those where it's very, very fluid. Trust us, as soon as we get our the stocks and the various bits and pieces in like that, obviously we'll get them at you straight away. It's not a problem. As I say, we have got pre-orders which we are imagining are coming in literally. The F-15s will be in soon.
F-15.
Excuse me.
Are you all right?
I had soup for lunch with bread. I do in a minute. I'll start. I've got some drink here.
Now then, before I was making this statement, say the F-15s are coming. I presume they're coming because, again, Hobbyco rang me up yesterday, and said, right, we need a chunk of money off you. You've got an order coming. And I'm like, I can't remember having, because I did a big order for paint stuff last week. So it's the only thing I can think of that's on back order. So the F-15s and the Zeros, which was on a special order from Japan. Like I say, it's a 3-month lead time, and I think it is around that 3 months. So I presume that's coming in. Then we've had a phone call today about the P-38s are in, so they're going to send them out as well. And what was it? Oh, the 109s. That was it. So I've had one batch of 109s coming. This is very reminiscent to when I ordered the Spitfires, because it's such a big order. I've had 6 of this one in. Which is the big
32nd one.
There's obviously a lot more of them to come in, and the 48th ones, which again they've obviously split the containment because it's so big, or the 2 boxes. So either that's coming in today. I've got a delivery actually coming this afternoon. So I'm thinking it'll be there. So that's another one that will be done. Also, I've noticed on the interweb today, the Javelin's out for the Airfix Javelin. So they're on order and they'll be coming in, because we've got a few pre-orders for them as well. So it's all trickling through, shall we say.
It is starting to come through, as we were saying. It's one of those ones where traditionally it goes a little bit quiet now because everyone ramps up for Telford.
Yes.
And when obviously Telford comes along, it's like boom, and that's it. So it'd be interesting to see this year if it carries on to Telford. And Telford's not there this year, but there'll still be, everyone's going to release things and do a bit of a fanfare and stuff like that, like we will. So I was going to
say Telford's not there, but we will be.
We will be. We're doing a big special over the weekend, so you want to be there, because we're doing flash sales, special prices. As far as we're concerned, we're doing Telford from home.
Telford from the comfort of
no setup.
The unit for me, but you'll be at home.
It'd be great. There's no queuing up to get into Telford for setup, and then setting up and getting thrown out on Friday night, because we're still setting up. And then by the time you get back to your hotel or wherever you're staying and all the rest of it, literally collapsing. And then up at Christ knows what time to be back in there to set up, queuing with the masses. It's going to be great.
It's going to be relaxing.
It will. I don't know what I'll do. I might just sit here in my slippers.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. It'll be your smoking jacket.
Jacket and a pipe. Not that I smoke, but
No, we'll see how it pans out, because I'm quite looking forward to it. It will be a change. It's going to be different. I know people are really disappointed that it's not happening, but obviously there was just no way it was going to anyway. I don't think, for however much they was hoping they could put a show on. The practicality, I think it wouldn't have worked. So, we've got to just adapt. Basically, this year, I think it's just about adapting, and luckily we do what we do on here, so we're quite apt at it. Really, we can make the most of it and make it like a turkey shoot weekend.
Absolutely. So the plan of action really is, what we're going to do is say we're going to have show special prices for obviously all the PM stuff, obviously all the flooring model stuff, that will all be up there, and we're going to do flash sales as well throughout the day. So that's going to be in there. We're also going to do like sort of seminars, and we'll do demonstrations and various things as well over the 2 days and stuff like that. So if you join in with us, it'll be absolutely fantastic. We'll be live as well, streaming across the interweb.
I think what we'll probably do is, as well, on the forum, if we put a poll up of what they'd like to see, so we can pre-plan it. Obviously, this is probably more for tomorrow's show than today's show, but you know what I mean? While my head's sort of spinning with ideas. Yes. And then at least we get an idea of what people would like to see, so we can just be sort of set up rather than winging it as usual.
Bit of pre-planning. We work best when we wing it. That's the whole point.
Probably does, yeah. You're pre-planning. It'll all get to pot, wouldn't it? Really, it'll never work. But yeah, very Blue Peter styling we're going to be. Here's what we did earlier.
Here's what we did earlier. Yeah, that's it. The best way.
So. Again, as you can see, we have had a few new arrivals in, and one of them obviously is what Phil's building at the minute, so we can talk you through this kit, seeing that he's nearly built it. Well,
it is pretty much. So yes, this is obviously I'm working on this guy at the moment, which as you can see down below. And I have to say, if it'll stand up, none of the boxes these days, they don't stand up. No. But again, this is one of those ones where it's a typical, Edar kit. It's got fantastic details. It's all recesses, you might imagine. It's beautifully done. But this is the weekend edition. So from a price point of view, we are there at £16.
16.
Which is nothing, 30. Really.
Yeah. I think it's 30, is it, for the Profi Pack one? Which is a bit of etch and a mask set.
Yeah.
And a few more decals.
Yeah. The thing is, as I say, the only trouble is that the instrument panel decal's a bit pants, but you're not going to see it because it's in there anyway. Yeah. But I'm going to hopefully titivate that a bit as well, make it a little bit nicer. But the rest of it is all absolutely fantastic. And like I've said, if you follow along, part one of this will go up on Friday. If you're a type of modeller who's not worried about photo etch and resin and having, not being funny, 10 sets of decals, because that is the other trouble with these decals as well, is that like Matt's got there the 109, it's got beautiful ones as long as you're like Mr. Galland.
There you go, 13 decal options in this box.
Yeah, but what you're going to do with the other 12 once you've built it?
Yeah, that's the thing. You do seem to have a lot of spare decals, and this I'm not, we're not calling Edard out for this. A lot of companies do it, don't they? Where you get like a load of decal options that you can only build one kit from.
That's it. So again, with this one, you only get the two. So you get two options in this one. And again, if you wanted to, I'm sure if people have got the other versions, I think the Profi Pack's got quite a few versions on that one, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So, and you might be able to say to other modelers, can we do a decal swap and things like that?
Yeah.
And have the decals off of them. But for the money, you think of this thing is like 16 quid, and it is an absolute bargain. It is everything you could actually want in a kit. It's got all the great details, everything else. And from my point of view, I'm more concerned about the painting and weathering on this one. So that's what this one's going to be about, doing how to weather dark blue. It's a bit of a nemesis with a lot of modelers because you don't know to go dark or light, as in do you use dark washes onto it, a little bit like they've done on the box art, or do you go light, which always looks very nice, but it's a little bit too in your face. So we're going to experiment with this one and go through the motions of it about weathering up the navy blues and stuff like that and seeing how it comes out. But from a kit point of view, this is definitely one of those ones we often talk about, like prices of kits are very expensive. 16 quid, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
You're looking, to be honest with you, you're looking sort of what we was thinking with the Tamiya classic kit, shall we say, that you did a few weeks ago. 20 quid or 18 quid, they come in at, you're in that ballpark figure, but these are obviously newer toolings, and it's something, to be honest, from me, obviously, who gets the stock in, it was like, well, we'll get the Profi Packs in because probably that's what people want, and it's probably a naive thing to do, so I think I'm going to get some more, obviously, because they do the Spitfires, they do the 109s, they do the 190s, everything I think they do, obviously, Edard's own kits in the Profi Pack, they're doing the weekend edition, and it's probably worth just getting them in, because like you say, not everybody wants a million decal options and photo etch, and the only thing I would say that they might want to do is put a set of seatbelts in. That is it.
Because I think it does come with the decal seatbelts for this one, and I haven't actually used them yet, and I was thinking about popping them onto a bit of foil to give them the three-dimensional depth. So you stick them literally to foil and then bend them round to give it that more type of look for it. We'll see how we get on with it. But again, it's one of those ones where definitely the instrument panel, if it was a colour photo etch one, it's very easy. But you've always got that thing, literally, how much are you going to see? You have got that thing. As say, seat belts I always think nice because most of us slide the canopy back. You can look into the seat and it makes the seat, if it's just got nothing in it, it just doesn't look right. And again, even if you put decals in there, which I did do on the 72nd Hurricane when I did that, we used the decals. They're very, it's one-dimensional. There's no sort of finesse to them. So it'd be nice to have a little bit more movement with them. So these ones I might pop onto a little bit of foil stick them onto that and then bend them onto it and see how they look onto it. But again, I just think really for the price point, 16 quid, Edard through and through, it's a beautiful kit. And everybody I speak to or who's built this kit and the other versions, they do other versions of this kit as well, all say it's beautiful. It just falls together. It really is a gem kit. So yeah, definitely very, very nice.
As I say, just go back to your seat belts. If you're going to do it make a good bite-sized video, that.
Yeah, no, I probably will do
as a bite size. A few other manufacturers obviously give you the harnesses as decals, so you know, like I say, to make a bit more realistic 3D, whatever. Yeah. It's a good idea, really, and it's a nice little tutorial vid for people, isn't it, to separate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. So always keep the lead foil from your wine bottles.
Yes, that's
great for that.
It is.
It's well worth being an alcoholic. I'm doing it because I need the foil, honest. How many harnesses do you make a year? But yeah, so that's a great little kit. The other one we got is those Phantoms, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was going to go back to the other Edard kit, which is obviously the Tempest.
Yes.
Which is a bit more money for the Trophy Pack one.
Yeah.
Sorry, for the Weekend Edition one. But again, what's that kit now? That's only about a year and a half, 2 year old, isn't it?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I reviewed this kit as well. Both of these kits, if you want to go off and see the reviews, they have done the review of it. And if you see on this one, they've actually now released the engine for it, the gun bays. They've done Brazin gear for it as well. So these are all stuff, because it is available as a Trophy Pack and as a Royal Class one as well.
Yeah, the Royal Class, yeah.
But now they've released an engine for it, which actually does look really, really nice. So because I've done the Typhoon, I thought about doing a mini-me with the engine.
Yeah.
So, but again, this is one of those things where you might think, you know, where do you want to go? Because obviously you could buy the Trophy Pack or the resin, the Royal Class one, and buy the engine for it and just add it to what you've got as well. Yeah. And if you wanted to add the guns to it. But again, if you just wanted to have the aircraft with the engine showing with nothing else, which is totally plausible for anything, you know, then you could just put an engine into it, and it's a cheap way of doing it. You know, and to be honest, the markings for that are in the kit. You get only two options, I think, in there again, and they're both good options as well. They're both D-Day markings, so they're very nice indeed.
Again, you're not left with like copious amounts of decals after, are you? Really? Because literally in the office below me, I have a box full of old instructions that I always keep for whatever reason, and old decals. And I think, to be honest, it could do with sorting, because most of them could do with binning. Because I know there's some in there from the 90s, if not even earlier.
Yeah.
You know, these old Airfix decals that are our register and stuff, and really should just either bin them or just put them on the site and go, if anybody wants them, I'll put them in a jiffy bag and you can
just go.
Because I'll never use them. You just think, oh, well, they might come in useful one day. You must have had loads when you were doing missions, like loads. And think, well, I'll keep them just in case. And it's where do you stop?
I must admit, recently I did say on a show that if anybody, because I can't remember what I was working on now, but it was something I had loads of decals. Oh, I'll tell you what it was. It was the Sabre, wasn't it? And obviously that was the Royal Class type one. So it had 20 options. And everybody had all the leftovers. They were like little, you know, feeding animals it was.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can I have the such and such markings? Can I have it? And to me, it's ideal. Cut them up, bung them in the post. For the price of a stamp, knock yourself out. Because I am never going to use them. You know, that's the thing.
But again, it's if somebody else is going to use it, like I said, because you could put them on the Academy kit, you could put them on the Asagawa kit if you've got it, or you know, obviously talking about the 48 Sabre, but you've obviously done the Starfighter, that's got a load in. The Crusader had a load in. Any of their sort of special edition boxing. I mean, look how many's in with that Spitfire, the Mark 1 Spitfire.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
loads in there, and obviously the 109s that have coming in again. For us, the Luftwaffe SIG, really, one of us could just literally buy the kit, that Battle of Britain kit, and then just buy the Weekend Edition 109s or the Tamiya one as a cheap, you know, or the Airfix one, chuck them together, and then just use the Edard extra decals to you can make an old squadron.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing to it. You know, it is if you are, you know, somebody who got loads of decals left over and all the rest of it, don't forget bung them up on the swap and sale section and the forum as well.
The cost of a stamp, you know, it's not like it's going to cost you an arm and leg to post them, is it either? Do you know, if somebody either will just say, oh, right, well, it's, you know, like I say, it costs of a first class stamp and just cover the cost of that, then why not? It's, you know, if somebody's better than just going into landfill, isn't it? Or recycling.
Or just sitting in a box.
Well, it is, because it's a shame, really, because some of the decals are brilliant. I mean, I've got some old ones from, I think, Asagawa or Fujimi. And they're really still nice decal schemes.
Yeah.
But I'll never use them. They're 72nd, but I'll never use them. You know, like when they did the Ivids, I think it was for the old Phantoms and Intruders and all sorts that they did. I can't remember what's in there. Skyhawks, I think, and stuff.
Yeah.
Fantastic schemes, but yeah, I'll dig them out, and we'll might be a thing for the Telford weekend.
Yeah, we could do that.
we could sort of a little half an hour out of extra decals, and
that's it. Anybody
some
want
photos
decals?
Up on the site and go right.
Yeah.
You know, who wants them basically? And,
well, I say it's better for them to go to a good home than just be sat in a box forever and then ended up in landfill.
Or, better idea, buy a kit and we'll chuck in some old decals to go with it.
Yeah, that's it. Trust me, if you need anything from a Hornet, I've got about 1 million Phantom and Hornet decals still left over from those days.
Yeah. So, and then going back to the Hobby 2000 stuff, which is obviously the two Phantoms, the two F4s, which is the Vietnam Aces ones, which are the old Asagawa plastic, which I've got here. So, I'll grab these up. There we go.
Very nice.
So yeah, so you've got the Robin Olds one, which I presume number 1, is it? I don't know why he flew, but yeah. And then with this lot, you get a mask set, which is from P Masks.
Yeah.
And some nice decals. I think cartograph decals, to be honest. So you get a nice. Like I say, I'm sending one of these down for filter review. There you go. You get your Hasegawa styrene.
Very nice.
And then your mask set.
Right.
Your PMAS set, your decals, which are a nice set of decals. So hey, that's not got enough stencil data on it.
That's how it should be.
Mind you, sprayed over them then, weren't they? I could probably do one of these. And then obviously there's your scheme. So there you go. So you get a couple of schemes, which again is about right, isn't it?
Yes.
To be honest, is enough. But I've never actually built an Asagawa Phantom in 72nd, so I can't say what the kit's like. Don't know. But it's recessed and everything, so
yeah,
I think it'll be okay. And I mean, Hobby 2000 don't seem to rebox rubbish, so
no,
which is good. So yeah, there you go. If you look at, there's your, if you can see the
old man himself.
Yep, and the one underneath. So yeah, there is stock.
Very nice.
And then also, which has just come in, which I think is cool, to be honest. I like this.
Yeah.
And this is the old Takum kit, although, it's the Takum plastic in the box. So, which is a really nice kit, and it's not been available for a while from Takum for whatever reason. Like a good few years.
It still looks like someone nicked a road wheel and moved them out.
Yeah, it does, but yeah, that's a nice package. I didn't get quite a few options in that, if I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here you get 11.
There you go, you get a photo etch as well.
Yeah.
And a load of tracks.
Lots of tracks.
So yeah. So I've obviously got that in, and that's about it for new arrivals. Just on the tool front, I should really put these up next to me. I forgot, we've had these in for a couple of weeks, but if anybody, because these became sort of hard to get hold of, these Zimmer applicating coater things, so we've got these back in as well. So if anybody wants to do their own Zimmer, there you go, and there's my phone going off to say eBay. just on cue. So yes.
Very nice, cool. Other things just to talk about as well is that we have made a decision on our next acrylic range. We have. We are going for the Attacker Blue line. We have a price. We're going to put it in on an order. And it should be in, but I don't know how long it's going to take. But yeah, as soon as we press, say go ahead, because I only got the price on it today. But yeah, we are sticking with Attacker. Also, talking of Attacker, this is definitely doing later, actually. It's a restock of the orange line, full restock. Not the sets or the single. So
and that includes thinners, the clear coats, everything. So we're going to keep on top of that as well now, keep it up to date. So yeah, we're sticking with Attacker, and we're gonna do the blue line.
So that'll be our proper acrylic, as in real acrylic, not hybrid acrylic range. So as I say, if you haven't used Attacker blue lines before, they're very, very nice. Everybody we know speaks to is like very, very nice. Matt's used them, been using them for a while now. We're really happy with how they work and how they perform, and obviously it's a true version than other acrylics we do, which are technically alcohol based. And things like that. So that sort of just goes right the way through with that one. So that's quite nice.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, like I say, they're good for brush painting as well. So you've got the crossover of the nice to brush paint, and they're fine for airbrushing. To be honest, I've had no issues with airbrushing them at all. They go on really nice. So yes, happy with that decision. It took a while to get to a decision what we was going to stop, but we've got there in the end. So
yes,
and it's nice to stick with Attacker as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, Great Wall Hobbies. Obviously, we were saying we're about to pull the trigger on that.
Yes, the pre-orders that are on the site, we're going to end tomorrow, or Andy is, and because we need to put the order in for Friday and pass it on to Gary at Tiger, who's going to order the stuff in. So if you do want any Great Wall Hobbies off our pre-order system, or if you want anything, obviously what we've got on site but out of stock, and put your name down on the wait list so we know numbers that we want to get in, please do it before tomorrow night. So then I can go through and say, right, what figures and, how many we're going to need of each thing. So,
and which it obviously helps us to help you guys as well. Because like we were saying, it's one of those things where sometimes, we, between collective of us as a group, think that'll be enough. And then you guys go mad for it, and we haven't obviously got enough in. And because obviously it has to come from various parties to get to us, there is a delay. So it's nothing more annoying than perhaps we ordering, I don't know, X amount of kits, and then you guys wipe us out overnight because it's a new in stock thing. And then people are like, well, you didn't get many in. And it's like, well, we didn't realise how many to get. So it's a great way of feedback for us to know you're not committed in any way, but it lets us know what potentially is going to be a very good seller. So we need to get good stocks of those in. So it enables us to sort of do better pre-ordering to get them in, so obviously nobody's left out. That's the point with that one.
It just gives us a rough idea of how popular it's going to be, because like you've said, I mean, if they sell out, they sell out. It's nice because it's a quick turnaround from us from a business point of view. But again, with the Great Wall Hobby stuff, which hopefully now is not going to be a problem in the future because there's going to be a regular supply. But obviously we've not had it in stock for a long time because we've not been able to get it. And we was on about Academy being the same, weren't we? Now, with Academy kits, they're very sporadic on us getting them.
Yes.
We were just obviously discussing for our technical issues of how good Academy are, and some of the kits, it's like the F14 is a new kit and we can't get them.
No.
The F35s are nice. The Raptor's a good kit, which is an older kit, but it's been back available again. It's one of them things. So we could do with really trying to find a really good source
supplier for
Academy.
Yeah. Again, the trouble with you find with Academy is that we always seem to be behind the curve on it, because when they do a release, it seems to be released everywhere around the world apart from the UK. So point in fact was the Cobra, wasn't it? The new Cobra.
Yeah.
When they did the Viper, it was brand new. For the first time, we had seen things like slip moulding, and obviously with slide moulding, injection moulding, things like that as well, with the one-piece tail, and it was fantastic. Apart from we couldn't get it in the UK, and it was like everybody else was getting them in and buying them in from the Far East and that, but we just could not get them in. Then eventually they came in, but it's very limited numbers anyway. And since then we haven't seen any more. And it's like brilliant. So again, it's one of those where if we could get them, we could pass them on and sell them. But again, getting them is just the pains. But the thing is, Academy is one of those companies which is just really is a good company. But again, doesn't get, I think, the sort of the glamorous side of the hobby like some other manufacturers get.
I think they get overlooked massively, and they do produce some absolute gems of kits. I mean, you built the F4s, and before the Zukimori one, that was definitely the one to get with.
Oh, absolutely.
That was head and shoulders above the old Asagawa one.
Yeah.
Obviously the Zukimura, but again, price, but it has crept up in cost. But everything's crept up in cost. It's all relevant to everything else. So, they're lovely kits. Like you've built some of them on there. The armour kits, like I was just saying earlier, the armour kits are the newer stuff is up there. It's really nice stuff, and it don't seem to get the exposure, I suppose, of if it was Tamiya or Takom or Meng or Ryefield models. And I don't know why, because again, they're not exactly expensive.
No, and that is the nice thing as well.
Budget,
Yeah, I think it's again, if when you go through, we were saying their Apache, it's a really nice kit.
It's fantastic.
Again, when you're talking for the money as well, it's absolutely a fantastic kit, no problem at all. The Raptor, as I say, I've built. There's actually video builds on the Apache, on the Raptor, on the F4, on the Suffer. I've done loads of their kits as video builds, and again, they are really, really nice, and they are, I think, in a lot of ways better than the competition. Like for instance, the Raptor. It was out before the Hasegawa one, but I think it's still head and shoulders above the Hasegawa one because the Hasegawa's got that god-awful raised texture to it. And it doesn't seem to work, or it doesn't work from a modelling point of view. Whereas, again, with mine, admittedly, I did stick all the Wolfpack into it, so it had Wolfpack cockpits and various bits. But again, it doesn't need it. You can go straight out of the box and away you go. Their Phantoms are, as I said before, you've got 3 choices now of your Phantoms. You've got the old Hasegawa ones, which, again, because of Hasegawa, the prices tend to creep up with them. But technically, shake and bake, you can build it in 12 hours. They're a nice kit. Then obviously you've got the Academy one, which I still think is probably the one to go with because it's that sweet spot in the middle. Beautiful detail right the way through. You can do it straight out of the box if you want to. Again, full video builds on that. Or as say, you've got the Zucamori one, which is head and shoulders above the others from details and stuff. But it's very high end and a high end price.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Their Suffer, the F-16s, it seemed to be, wasn't it, that they tend to focus in different areas because at one point they were doing their F-16s. So they did that one, they did the US version, then they did the Block 60 and the Polish markings. But again, when you say you've got that or the Tamiya one for a 2-seater, and even if you went single-seater, the details are a little bit more chunky. But they're just as good. And when you're dealing in that scale, it doesn't actually make much difference. And as I say, I've built that one. We did the full lighting for it and everything. And I threw everything at that one. Really very, very nice with it. And again, wrong version, clearly. But the Super Stallion got the Sea Dragon there.
That is a kit and a half.
It's a monster kit. Absolutely huge kit.
That is massive. And that was sought after. They were going for really silly money till that got released. But again, they've kind of got re-released. And then you can't get them again.
No.
It's gone. There's never a constant flow with Academy. It's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
But again, the Hell Diver in 72nd is a fantastic kit. It's a beautiful kit. And even some of their older 72nd stuff, it's all recessed. It's a nice, easy build. I'd bin the decals because the decals are rubbish. So. Again, if we were going back to obviously people with extra decals, if they've got some extras, you could probably scrounge
keep them for that.
But the actual kits themselves are lovely. I mean, I think I built the Tempest of theirs in 72nd. I think I definitely got a couple of the other ones. The P47, I think, I built. They're perfectly good together. No gaps, no problem really. Really straightforward build.
But I think, as I say, Academy is definitely one of those ones where people are very easy to scroll past it. But actually, they do some really very, very nice stuff in there. Again, they tend to work, as I said, in timelines. We were saying is that in the late 90s and in obviously the early 2000s they were doing a lot of 30-second scale stuff. So you had the F-18s, the Legacy Hornets all came along, and then the F-16s came along, and then they did a little bit with the Raptors and stuff like that were in there. So they tend to sort of but again, once they seem to release and then that's it just dries up. Like at the moment they're doing the F-35s, isn't it? So the F-35 family sort of coming out and down the line, and now we've seen the F-22A come back, probably because they're doing the F-35 as well, obviously being a similar thing. But again, it's one of those ones where it's very difficult for us to get hold of stocks because again, it dries up, and when it dries up, there's a drought because you just don't see them, and it's interesting. I don't know in their from their side, we don't have any contact with them, but do they literally do a run and then that's it? We were saying Tamiya tends to keep it all going, but other companies, like as we know, Airfix retire. and then it comes back. That's why we just seen the Javelin come back as well, which again is weird because it's one of their most sought after kits, and they haven't got it. Yeah. So you know,
again, at least it's back out for a bit in it. But yeah, I was looking at actually the Hitfix catalogue, to be honest, today, and it's like a lot of the things that we stocked that we're out of stock of is now gone. You know, something's going to take its place. It's like, you know, I know they're out at the minute, but the Hurricane and the Mark 1 Spitfire, Mark 1 Hurricane, again, it's only out because it's the Battle of Britain.
Yeah.
So I think probably next year that'll probably be retired again. So it's one of them where you probably want to grab them if you're thinking about it, or, you know, or shall I get one or not? Because it's probably one to put in the stash because it's a fantastic kit and it's going to be hard to get hold of. It's like their Lightning. 48th Lightning's been retired again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's nothing to compare that to, is there?
No, there's nothing out there at all. Unless you're going to go Sword.
Well, yeah, but even then they're 2 seats, aren't they?
That's it, yeah.
So, you know, again, it's like with the Academy stuff. I think it's don't overlook it. You know, because I think you will be surprised if you've never built one. Actually, get one and try it, because I think you will be surprised with how good a kit they actually are.
Yes.
So yeah.
Grab them whilst you can.
It is. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Right. What else we got to talk about? Anything else?
No.
As I said, everyone, sorry, it's a quiet week. It is very much a quiet week at the moment. Any special offers?
No, they need updating, to be honest. So we've still got Millennium Falcon if anybody wants one.
I have one Falcon left.
One Falcon
left. So yes, very nice.
Oh, I know what we've got to talk about. Sorry. Our next auction. We've got a date, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah.
What was it?
27th.
Oh, right. Okay.
Of September.
Right, 27th.
Write that on your calendar.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
We'll come to the 26th. We'll go, we've got our auction tomorrow. Have we? Yeah, we've put a date for the end of the month. The 27th of September is our next auction on the Flory site.
Yes, and that's going to be more armour led, am I led to believe?
Armour, it's going to be a mixture this
Bit of everything.
Yeah, it's going to be aircraft armour. We're going to put it up again like Andy did. I'm going to give him the pictures so, you know, people can't actually attend on the evening, can put their pre-bids on. Same as the last one that we did. And, there's going to be a mixture of all sorts, this one. Should be interesting. Cool. I was sorting out a few lots. There's going to be some really, really nice bundles on this.
Cool.
So it's worth tuning in for those.
Yes. Well, there we go. So that'll be an evening with us if you want to. It'd be lovely to have you come along on the 27th. As I say, say if you want to do the pre-bids, obviously you do have to be Flory Models members.
Yeah.
So sign up and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. We've got some questions though, haven't we?
Okay, so over into questions. Following on after last week, which turns out the fuel bowser we were going to use for our little mini diorama was wrong. So
back to square one now, because
back to square one. As a lot of you know, I built the little Armour Hobbies Hurricane. Got completed on Monday. It's free to view the last part if anybody wants to see that as well. So anyway, Adrian's saying down, Matt, he's got some Airfix 172nd RAF Airmen. If you'd like them, he'll send them to you. Okay,
some Airmen. Are they OO scale or definitely 72nd? Yes. Being Airfix. I need some ideas of actually a refueler in 72nd if anybody does one then, because obviously I can't use me Bedford because it weren't around then.
No.
And because we've got a base now, we got sent that base, didn't we? That back.
That's it. Yeah.
I want to. We could do a little project, can't we?
Yes,
but I need something to fill it.
Yes.
I know Airfix do the bomber.
Yeah.
Resupply set, but again, that's for bombers and not fighters. So I presume we could cross over with a little Bedford if that was around then. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's later, to be honest.
I don't know, to be honest.
We need some ideas. If anybody knows of anybody, I actually have had a look round, to be fair, for refuelers and what we could possibly use. But they're either wrong scale, they're not pure 72nd, they're either OO scale, or they're too late. So,
Okay. Sorted.
Graham
says here about, CMK do some 72nd figures.
We'll look into that in Armoury. And Reed Oak, is it, the other one that we've on? So we've got a nice link to Hononts. We'll have a look, actually.
The other thing is what I said about dream models.
Yes.
They do some very nice looking 72nd scale helicopters, and are releasing an F5E in 1/72.
Well, what we need to find out from our point of view is who the importer is.
Yes.
Because they do some interesting stuff. I've been looking. There's obviously them and a company called Clay Prop, who are doing some fantastic releases. I mean, they've just released a 72nd Sea Sprite. Yeah. Which I'd like to get my hands on for you to have a look at. But it's getting them. It's getting them on trade. So it's whoever's bringing them in. So we'll look into it anyway to see who the importer is.
Yeah, definitely. We will see what we can do with those because they do look nice. Doug says, hello, requesting regarding new Spitfire, the few released and the decals. Are they truly the new type of decals requiring a different application technique, different steps? They can be applied like a normal decal, or should they should you not try that type of application? I haven't found any definitive information on the website. Okay, to be honest with you, I spoke about this at length on yesterday's show, on the Tuesday Q&A show, so you can revert back to that one. But they are the new wet transfer type, which the best way to describe it is, you remember when you had tattoos as kids in your chewing gum? They work the same way. So technically, you wet your decal as you normally would, you stick it on your model, in our case our arm, okay? You leave it on there for a little bit, and then you peel it off, leaving the decal behind. So technically the carrier film is on the top, not the bottom. That's how it actually works. The downside to it is, and like I've explained before, is that if you have trouble with silvering, this isn't the silver bullet that you're looking for. This isn't going to be the magic thing that's going to end all silvering, because if it's not in contact with the bottom, and obviously when it's silvering, it means it's not in contact with the surface, it means it's going to peel it off. So when you go to take it off, it just rips it and doesn't stick. Now, I had a go with this when I did the ME262. So if you want to go off and see that one, it's all about it, because I show it about using it actually on there. And to be honest, on a 262, because it's a nice flat wing, it isn't too much of a problem. You can just put it down and it does come off. But this is that thing. A lot of people are thinking, oh, this is fantastic because there's no carrier film, which means I won't have any silvering. But if you have trouble with silvering, you will hate these decals, because this is the trouble. If there's any non-contact, as in it's not down, and again, this is what silvering is. Silvering is just the air pocket between the surface of the model and your decal. That's what the silvering is. So when you peel it off, just imagine everywhere that was silvering will rip off, because it's still going to be stuck on your sheet. Again, I haven't seen too much. I saw one, I think it's a young lad, and he was doing it, and he was trying to demo it, and to be honest with you, he made a right hash of it, purely because it just wasn't working. And it's one of those things, and I know what it's like, trust me, I'm not having a go at him, but when you got the camera, you're trying to demo something and it's not working, isn't the easiest thing to talk and sort of big up how wonderful this is as it's ripping in two, you know? So, and again, you could see what he was trying to get over the point about how useful it is and stuff, but yeah, I think he fell on his face a little bit. But it's one of those. Personally, I'm not a fan. I prefer good old-fashioned decals. That way, if I've got silver in, I've got various repertoire that I can go to get rid of it. So that may be piercing it, going over it with a pinwheel, slicing it, getting in there with setting solutions, upping my setting solution. So perhaps going in with X20A, or then my alien blood stuff, as I call it. Or even, as we said before, extra thin. Don't try it at home if you've never done it before, but it will work. So there is different ways of doing it. The trouble you've got is with these ones, if you put them on and then you peel them off and you make a hash of it, there's no going back. That's it. You've ripped the decal and made a mess of it. You can't push it back. You can't just fold it back and pretend it hasn't happened, because that's it. I can see it. I've seen it work before. We've done it with other things. And again, if you go back to yesterday's video, I talk about how I did it on the hind. And the hind is just the way you literally come along with a little bit of enamel thinners and give them a rub over it. And it takes all the carrier film away and leaves the painted, the printed material left only. But it only works on certain decals. But yes, I don't think it's a good idea. That's my thing. I think you're going to have more people have trouble with them and having to go out buying spare decals than they're going to get away with those.
I agree. I totally agree. Decal is not my strongest point as it is, so I ain't going to attempt that.
No.
You can see it on armour, to be honest. When you're doing your German crosses and stuff, or your little numbers, probably not so bad, because if it does tear, you can, that'll worn away.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on an aircraft, it's a bit different. Yeah, like I say, I think there's going to be a lot more fails than successes, shall we say, with people using them. So, do you? Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, Grant says, looking for any updates on the release of 3 kits: the Hobby Boss U2R and 2 Model Collect kits that are overdue: the A12 Oxcart, the A12 Avenger 2. As I said, I don't watch these shows. Charming.
Thanks, Grant.
That's like saying, I want your help, but I don't care what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Nice to show your support, Grant. No, that's nice.
Shall we not bother answering that?
No, that's it. We'll keep him on tender hooks and answer him next week.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark says, Matt. No, seriously, on there, I don't know. Haven't got a clue.
Do you know why I didn't even know on Boss were doing the YouTube?
No.
Because I know AFV Club's got theirs released. The Dragon Lady one.
Dragon Lady,
48 one. We should really get one for review, shouldn't we? See what it's like. Because it's a big thing.
That'd be a monster, yeah.
Yeah. And as for Model Collect, no idea.
No.
I'll be honest, I've got no idea with Model Collect. To be fair, Model Collect, I've no idea what Model Collect are doing.
Yes.
So how everybody else knows is beyond me.
I was going to say, they said about these are overdue, the A12s and that. They haven't even released the B1 yet.
No, it just,
That's supposed to be in front. So, I think everyone's jumping the gun there.
Yeah, all right. Moving along.
Moving along. Okay, last up, Mark says, Matt, will you be doing a pre-order for the Kinetic Harrier GR13? Has it up on pre-order or other brands' website for £38.64? That's a random price, isn't it? How did they get to that price?
Let's just say, yes, we're going to put it up on pre-order, but as of the minute, I can't find an actual proper retail price. So where that price has come from, I don't know.
To be honest, that doesn't even look like a real price. Who does anything at £38.64?
Well, I don't know.
Is that something where he's got it abroad and he's converted it into pounds, you reckon?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But literally, until I've actually got the proper full retail price from where we're going to get them from, I can't put it up on pre-order. Because you can't just guess. You can't just guess a price. But we will be doing it for sure, We'll definitely be a pre-order on.
Yes.
Like I say, as soon as we know where we're at with it.
To be honest, I'm actually, we spoke about this last week, wasn't it? I'm going to build that. I'm going to do GR3. Quite fancy that.
No, GR1.
No, GR3. Want the long nose.
Also, actually, just going back to that, we will have the AV8 as well, because they're bringing the AV8. Oh God, the AV8 out as well. So we'll put that up in pre-order. So if anybody's interested in that version, and also, and I think Rick's got one actually. Rick Greenwood is the 2-seat Starfighter, the G.
Oh right.
Because that's due. So again, we're just waiting on sort of how much they're going to be before we can stick them up there. So I thought the Picara was supposed to be out.
Do you know what? That's what I'm thinking. If they brought out the 2-seat, where's the Picara? Because there was an announcement saying the Picara is next.
Yeah.
So
what's happened to the Picara?
There you go, everyone. Welcome to 2020.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, this is you're a bit nail on the head, really, aren't you? Yeah.
It is. Just blame 2020. If anything's not on time or late or early or anything, well, it's 2020, isn't it? Everyone's got a clue.
Yeah.
Chris says, Scalemates listed a Riffield Models T3485 listed for a 2020 release. Is there any information about this kit? There's no indication that it will have an interior. I need some Soviet armour on my shelf. Again, I'm not being funny. Scalemates, they might list stuff, but that's probably was to the best of their knowledge when they put it on their site.
Yeah.
It might not be the same now. So
no, that's due in. I am pretty sure that's due in on the Riffield orders next delivery.
Oh right, okay.
I need to check. So I'm putting this out there and probably opening myself up, but I'm pretty sure it's due in pretty soon. To be honest, that version. Don't forget, Mini Art are doing the T34. They bought the full interior one out, and obviously they're going to do just a normal. T34 as well. ICM's got really fantastic T34s, and so have Zarevsta.
Yes.
So if you want a T34, there's obviously a lot of options because that's an 85, so that's a later one, isn't it? Not a 76. So the Mini Art one is definitely an 85.
What was the one you found when you were off on your jolly the other week?
That was an 85.
There you go. You see, and that was where
size one stuck outside the Army Surplus shop in. In between Hereford and Worcester.
There you go. Like you do. Random.
Yeah. Everyone that parked outside the shop here and sort the parking out.
Yeah, you can't park here.
Move it.
You're going to move it.
Run over it.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
well.
yeah, as far as I know, Christopher, it's due out pretty soon, to be honest.
Yes.
So, cool.
Cool. Very good. Right. Well, there we go. I think we'll call it there because we've basically been an hour.
Yes.
2 hours almost. Because we might have had to redo this.
To say we had nothing to talk about.
Well, this is it. Never mind. We have nothing to talk about. We've done an hour each time, so it's fine. Yeah. All good.
Cool.
Right, as always, you get all your tools, all your paints, all your sundries, all your bits and pieces as well. And obviously stocks change daily, as we were talking about at the moment. So keep an eye actually on the store and things like that. Keep an eye on the specials, all the bits and pieces. Note for your diary then is the 27th of September for the auction. So if you want to join us for that, we'd love to have you along. Or if you just want to watch it as well, you can watch it on the Flooring Model site as always for free.
Can I just say something before we go?
Yes.
Just an announcement about the Mr. Hobby stuff, so thinners and all the gubbins that go with that. Elwyn Alloys, who are our supplier in the UK, have moved premises and they've been moving for the past 2 weeks. I think they're back up and running next week, and as soon as they're back up and running, I'm going to put an order in for some restocks. So hence why levelling thinners has been out for a while, and probably some of the other stuff that we normally have a quick turnaround over. Yeah, like I say, they've been moving premises into a new shop, or warehouse. So they've been out of action for a couple of weeks. So
cool.
Yeah.
Right. That's all right then.
Okay.
Right, lovely. As always, we will obviously see you tomorrow night. You're on tomorrow night,
I am on tomorrow night as well.
You're on tomorrow night as well. So if you want to come and join us for that, we'd love to have you along as well. But if not, we'll see you next Wednesday for the next PM show. So happy modelling. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.